person. He even will break out the max brass sometimes, which is nuts. But let's see it. I'm excited to see. He puts on the Hydra for sure to counter the Bark-Acrobatics that are going to be coming. I cannot wait to see these. Look at him go for Bark. Let's see it.
Tuturoopa starting Tri-Blast and Parasol. Interesting.
Yeah, that Parasol allows him to stay in the air after jumping off of Bark a lot. It provides a lot of float in the air. You can tell when he uses it and he's in the air, it kind of pauses him and lets him float there.
Yeah,
so
it also will block almost all 3 of those Hydras every time.
Bark is down. We'll see what his ground movement is like. He's doing well.
His grounded defense is fantastic.
Yes. And he gets that deflect on the Hydra, and he stays on Bark. Another one. This is the Bark-Acrobatics that I was talking about, guys. Tuturoopa is fantastic at playing behind his dog. They are 2-in-1. A puppet player that knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh, what a great rush.
Fantastic. He didn't question whether or not it was going to hit either. He knew exactly that SirRosalina was going to be right in the middle of that Tri-Blast rush. It was fantastic.
This is another pair that I don't know how much they've been practicing or if they've been practicing at all.
Tutu doesn't really play online much, but I don't doubt that he keeps his skill, especially because Byte&Barq is not a fighter you see that often, so it's a big mix-up to even use them.
Right.
Wow, Bark coming through with a 15 knockdown, and he jumps out of that. Wow.
He most likely tried to have Bark block the first hit of the rush.
It's amazing that Bark blocked most of that rush. She only took about half damage from it, which is maybe 1 grab.
Oh, that was almost the hard to blockable from Tri-Blast there.
Wow, he's staying on Bark. It's amazing how long he can stay up there, deflecting every single one of them. And a shield break, that's going to be a rush. Let's see what damage he can get out of it. 370. I thought he was going to break 400. I was confident. That was nuts.
Tutu's definitely not playing around here. He wants blood. He wants to win this event.
And this, if you told someone Twintelle was losing to a Byte&Barq, you know, a lot of people would say Byte&Barq is no good, but Tutu shows them up. He says this guy has an immense number of options and opportunities.
Here's the thing, and you're going to call me crazy for this.
I
think this character's good as shit. I think this character is a good character.
I agree, but I also agree that Masango's a good character. You're going to call me crazy for that, brother. So, you know.
Well, we can't agree on everything.
You know, I think we agree on very little, funny enough. I can't wait to play you, but believe it or not, Stylo and I are up, facing off in the next wave. We're going to be up round 2. It's going to be hilarious. I got my friend here looking for a room key. I hope they work, buddy.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope we're on stream.
I can't wait. Yeah, absolutely. That'll be funny. That'll be hilarious just because we're commenting together.
I think B&B has a lot of great options. I just don't think that they're not strong or viewed as strong because it takes a lot of work to play around Bark's respawn time.
I think that their disadvantage is pretty abusable as well. If you just focus on keeping Bark down, obviously you're going to get punished a little bit for aiming for Bark. But if you play your cards right and make sure that he cannot get that deflect, he cannot get that height advantage, you keep him on the ground every time. Byte's short dash, his little, you know, his dash isn't bad.
A lot to be desired.
Yes, it's not bad, but it used to be a lot better. They nerfed him. But he's definitely mobile. He's not like Min Min and Jara, Blue Mask, Masango mobile, but he's skinny. He's his hurtbox is thin. So you have to be accurate. You cannot be reading too hard because you'll miss entirely.
But it's more like his hurtbox is about average size, but he's got the same basic dash as Springman. It's just that
with no deflection.
He has a slower initial dash, but his dash is longer, if I remember correctly.
It does go a decent amount of distance. It's funny too because if you look, Byte's chest doesn't move. Just his legs turn and they carry him, which is hilarious looking. He's a robot. He can do that.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
No, I'm excited to see this next game. Tutu took that first one convincingly. These are all still best of 2. We're not going best of 3 until when?
Finals of the tournament.
Finals of
the whole tournament.
Of both. So winners, finals, and losers, or top 12?
Top 12. Finals,
okay,
top 12,
okay.
I do believe.
Okay, just making sure. I'm making sure that each bracket doesn't have a best of 3.
Okay, switching to the Mechanica, this is the other character I see SirRosa play
a lot of
all the
Mechanica
time.
play for sure. I can't believe I didn't even bring it up earlier, because the Mechanica is definitely powerful. He brings out the nade, the Blammer. I like the double explosion set.
Double explosion is definitely good. Kablamer, so we talked about hammers not being that good. There's one niche that they fill very well. They're great anti-airs.
Oh yes,
if you are up in the air a lot, They will hit you.
Just like that. You can call out landings very well because they're kind of slow and
they have really weird tracking.
Yes.
Their tracking doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's like they're heavy curve arms at a distance. It's very strange. Ooh, and just like that, the anti-air coming out. If there were double glove right there, I don't think you would have hit him.
No, absolutely not.
And the grab finishes off round 1. That was less than, what is that, 20 seconds? That was
just about.
That was nuts. Extremely quick round. Rosa's showing that he is not to be messed with. He says, you know, you took that first game. Let's see it again. One more time, buddy. Ooh, Tuda bringing out the Roaster. Roaster is a direct counter to Mechanica's movement. Mechanica's moving extremely horizontal. Roaster, just like you see right there, so good at reading those horizontal movements.
Roaster is the movement read arm.
Absolutely.
If you want to call somebody out for moving, this is the arm you play. This is going to break. Both arms have a lot of shield damage on rush.
Yes, absolutely. Especially Slap, they do a bunch.
Yeah, Slap and Slam both do a bunch. Roaster has a lot of shield damage just by virtue of being a firearm.
Yes, and like I said,
that deflect was insane.
I'm telling you, it's so hard to rush Barq when he's in the air, or Byte after he jumps off of Barq. Like earlier, it only worked because he sent the hammer and it caught him, just like that anti-air that we were talking about.
Yeah, the only reason I've ever been able to is because of Dragon.
Oh yes,
because it auto hits.
Yes, Dragon just you know, it's basically cheating. Ooh, and that's it. Wow, I blink. And those rounds are over. I can't even get any words out. I can barely commentate these matches. These guys are going back and forth so quickly.
It was like Tudo had the perfect offense right there. And SirRosa had the perfect counter to it. Just punch straight through. Is not going to knock down the slam. It's just going to go straight and hit him in the face.
Those explosions as well are going to do a lot of work on knocking down Barq.
A lot of work and a lot of damage.
Oh, yes. They're definitely big damage. But knocking down Barq is a lot easier when you have an explosion.
Yes.
Especially when it clips that deflect. That explosion will still reach him. On the Kablammer especially because it's gigantic.
Yeah, it is very large.
The Nade's explosion, definitely decently sized. It's hard to avoid, especially when you're already in the air. But that Kablammer's huge.
With Nade is its explosion placement is actually better.
Yes.
So when other explosion arms explode, it's kind of where the arm was or slightly behind it. When Nade explodes, it's in front of it.
Yes, it's a lot. It's
and a
weird
little bit on
the
top
explosion
of it.
arms are all different.
Yes, they are all very different.
You think it's the same element, they would have this consistent play, but they're very varied.
Tri-Blast explodes a little bit behind if it hits something, where it hits something.
And Kablammer explodes as soon as it hits.
Explodes way behind where
and it stays for a while. It's very active.
It's very active.
We see a Birdchuck coming out, a very good weapon in the air, but we'd have to see him use it. You know, he likes to jump and send it a lot, I'm going to feel like, because Birdchuck on the ground, not nearly as good as in the air. So I feel like he's going to do a lot of that you see right there is jumping and then immediately sending it to try and catch him. But Rosa's just eating it with that Kablammer.
Yeah, Rosa definitely trying to call Tuturoopa out with Kablammer. Tuturoopa playing a lot safer this game, but still not having a lot of success. And not being able to get Barq charged is going to have a hard time knocking SirRosa down.
Yeah, the fact that Rosa's been keeping down Barq so consistently is, again, these Barqrobatics are so powerful.
Oh, there we are. Speaking of Barqrobatics.
The explosion actually knocks him out of rush. They trade 50 and 80 damage respectively. Rosa has a heavy lead right now. We'll see if Tuda can bring it back. But without Barq, you see Rosa aiming for Barq. He does not want Tuda to get that height advantage. Oh, wow. But Barq is back. I cannot. Ooh, again, that explosion. Just like I'm saying, those explosions are so good at taking out Barq.
Absolutely.
And there it is. The nade finishes off the round.
Very stressful for Tuda. This is his last game in winners.
And his dog is getting handed.
This.
It's just poor Barq. Oh, he double roasted the ultimate Mechanica counter. This set is built to beat heavies, and it's definitely built to trace.
Great evasion there. Just does not block for some reason.
Only takes 60. That could have been much worse. Barq gets a quick 15, and, no perfect for you, Rosa, is what Barq says.
I feel like Tuda is not used to playing against armor. I'm watching him, and he expected that Barq punch to knock down.
Yeah,
I can tell. Or at least to stutter.
Throws off a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very, I wouldn't say even strange mechanic. It's just, it's something that you don't expect, especially coming from someone who didn't have armor previously.
Right.
Although now it's game 2, you would expect him to adapt a little bit, but he might be just a little frustrated in his. And there it is. Before I can even finish my sentence, just
Definitely
like I said,
very flustered.
he lands an uncharged arm on super